lighters, if it's a clear cylinder, when you buy lighters, they're never full. Yeah, they're never full. It's because we only burn vapor. We do not burn the liquid. Same as for propane. So in this vessel, we have liquid propane. This is bulletproof glass. I'm not going to try and make sure it is or not. But this way we can see what's happening inside a cylinder. This is the exact thing that happens inside the cylinder. So can you see the pressure that's inside this cylinder? It's about what, 125? Does anybody see the temperature? We have a temperature gauge, a thermometer inside. Can you see the temperature? What temperature is it, Danny? See the temperature of that? 20. It is the ambient temperature at which it's sitting in. All propane tanks, all cylinders will be the temperature of whatever the surrounding area is. So if you're in a very cold environment, it's going to be very cold inside. Now, do we know, during our properties class, do we know what the boiling point of propane liquid is? Minus 44 degrees Fahrenheit. So that means anything above that temperature, that propane will vaporize into a gas. So we're only keeping it a liquid because it's under pressure in this vessel. Okay. Now this particular propane demonstration, I have a dual regulator here. So it takes the 125 PSI and cuts it all the way down to 11 inches water column. Right? We don't use these on tanks for residential applications. Remember, we do two regulators. We have a tank regulator and then a second stage regulator for the house line. But this does it both. It's kind of like what happens in your barbecue. Your barbecue tank or 20-pound cylinder is similar to that, where on the barbecue you have the regulator built right in, right? And it takes tank pressure and knocks it all the way down to 11 inches water column. On propane cylinders, when you're dialing something in here, you have what's called left-hand threads, and so you can't get them mixed up with other ways. Now, this is a cutaway tank, and this is what's inside, or cylinder, I should say. This is what's inside a cylinder, just like that. There's nothing. Steel, right? Breaks down after time, gets rusty like this one. So again, when I light this, this has a natural gas orifice in it, and I'm using propane. What do you think is going to happen with this? It's going to be big. It's 2.5 times the heating value as natural gas. So it is going to be quite robust, this flame, when I light it. So I have my valve open here. I'll start my torch. And here we go. Now, what I want you to see is what happens inside your cylinder, or this cylinder, while it's burning. So as the pressure is being taken off the top, it's now got that room to boil. And what is happening is that liquid is actually boiling and vaporizing into the gas. And we're taking the gas, running it down the tube, going to this burner. And that's exactly what happens inside your propane cylinders and tanks. While this is burning, you may notice that the pressure is decreasing inside there. Also, we're going to let it burn a little bit longer, but we'll see the thermometer inside there, and we'll see what happens to the temperature. What do you think is going to happen to the temperature? Well, it needs to get all its warmth from the outside of the cylinder. So the outside of the cylinder is where it gets all its heat from to vaporize. So when it's really cold outside, you can see frost levels on your cylinders and tanks when you're outside. And that tells you how much propane you have, but it's getting all the wetted surface takes all its heat from the cylinder itself or the tank and does that. This is going to get cold. It's already starting to get cold because this is the only metal part on here. The plastic won't get cold with this bulletproof glass, and you can feel it, it's already starting to get cold. If I adjust this, like a big flame. That's a pretty big flame now. All right, it's a nice campfire flame. I can't get it to go blue enough because I can't get enough air in there because of the orifice is not for a propane system.
What happens if you adjust the orifice?
Well, I'd have to actually take it all apart and put a new orifice in. Yeah. So look how dirty it's getting in there. It was pretty clear before, but on the bottom and in every tank, propane's a dirty fuel. It's just a byproduct of the gas industry, the oil and gas industry. So it's not that clean, but we've made an incredible infrastructure for it. So we sell it, burn it, and all kinds of things, right? You guys use these at work? Yeah? So that's what happens. Now, when it gets really cold out, you can get some of these right behind you there. You can get heaters to put on your tanks and cylinders. Now, in colder areas, they have heat tape, they have blankets and heated electrical blankets, and these would go right on the tank to heat it up so it will vaporize more. And we'll talk a lot more about vaporizers and how they work in the coming couple of classes as we go through all this. Now, can anybody see the temperature that's in there now? Can you see it now? Can you read it by any chance? Can you see it at all? No, it's tough to see.
Yeah.
How about feel that? Is it cold? It is chilly. Yeah. Can't see it yet. It's pretty cloudy in there. But it doesn't take long. I mean, this is a very thick piece of glass, so it doesn't take long for this to go down. We were up to here, eh? Look at how much we burned off. So we're going to do some calculations as well to see how much propane you could put in a cylinder, how much you get out of it, how many BTUs you get out of it. I do want to mention that propane cylinders are always have a vapor space. Yes. Propane cylinders and tanks never get filled to more than 80% their capacity. Never. Because we don't want liquid coming down here. We don't want to burn liquid. We only burn the vapor at all times. Any questions? No? Cool? So if I shut this off, this is going to continue to boil inside there until the pressure increases enough to keep it under. So I'll shut that off. And it'll still continue to boil until it comes up to 125 psi or so. Can you see the temperature now in there? No. We'll see it in a bit once it gets clear and all the dirt inside it gets settled.